This episode of Derby Profile was suggested by Uncle Blakey0777. Another day, another Derby Profile. Today's episode is going to be on Reincarnate. Let's go. First things first, we got the stats, and these are really good across the board. 7 starts, 2 firsts, 3 seconds, 2 thirds, and earnings of $345,650. Despite the quantity of races he has run in, he has yet to finish off the board, regardless of the race was on turf or dirt. For major races, he has 3 of them. He started out the year with a victory in the Sham Stakes, and then finished third in 2 preps at Oaklawn, the Rebel and the Arkansas Derby. For highest speed figure, it came in the Sham Stakes, where he wired the whole field and got a 95 out of it. Pretty respectable, to say the least. For running style, Reincarnate is rather stationary. In the majority of his races, he stays around where he starts. So if he gets the lead in the first few strides, like in his maiden victory and in the Sham Stakes, he usually stays there and fights gamely to win. But if he starts just behind the leaders, like he did in the Arkansas Derby, he's gonna stay there, but he's still gonna fight for it, but he's not gonna move up any placings. The only exception to the rule here was in the Rebel Stakes, where he was pinched back at the break and overcame tons of trouble, being boxed and bumped around the whole way, but still was able to make up a surprising amount of ground for his running style to finish third. So he can come from behind if need be, and he can handle quite a bit of bullying from other horses. And I think that's one of the best things about Reincarnate, the fact that he has proven to fight at multiple different levels. Whether it's for first or for third place, he's always sticking to his guns and not letting horses pass him if it's the last thing he does. But also, as shown in the Rebel Stakes, he does have some closing kick if he is pushed behind horses. So if he does end up getting boxed around in the Derby, it's not game over for him, and he could still end up picking off horses. And he can handle the kickback despite being a horse who is generally a frontrunner, which is also a good thing in this Kentucky Derby. There isn't going to be a lot of dead-set frontrunners in this race, and with Johnny Velasquez riding a horse that Bob Baffert formerly trained, we could see a replication of Medina's Spirit, getting sent hard to the lead and wiring the whole field. There's not a lot of speed, so if they are lucky enough to do that, that could be really, really dangerous. But that's only if Reincarnate can actually get to the lead, which is one of his weaknesses. He's not the fastest starter in the world, and the way he starts out of the gate is definitely very telling on how he's going to do for the rest of the race. Sure, the Rebel Stakes proved he could pass horses, but in races like the Arkansas Derby, where he rested just behind the leaders, he stayed there. So unless Reincarnate gets to the lead in this Kentucky Derby, it seems unlikely he's going to win, although he's still eligible for minor placings, that's for sure. So, in short, you're going to know how good he's going to do in the first couple of jumps. And whether you are willing to risk that with him for a possible win bet is up to you. But I think he really is a legitimate money horse in this field. And for that, I give Reincarnate a B+ grade. Now, some might think that's a bit too generous for this type of horse, but I'm willing to look like a fool if he doesn't perform to my standards, because I think a B+ grade is very deserving of a hard knocker, and that's what Reincarnate is. He's never ran a bad race. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Derby Profile, and see you guys next time.